serious. Okay. Oh, hello everyone. I have Mike from the UK Urban Prepper channel. It's a really awesome channel. I really like it. So, Mike, tell me a little bit about yourself and your channel.
Yep, well, as you said, I'm Mike. I'm known as the UK Urban Prepper. It's only about a year old, the channel, but I saw a gap in the market where lots of preppers in the UK were just copying American preppers and homesteaders, which some
Hmm.
things work, but some things don't translate over to the UK. So I wanted to approach it from more a UK focused perspective, which again could probably translate both ways. And there's lots of things that do cross over. But that was the inspiration behind the channel, and it's just snowballed in a year, to be honest.
Hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that, especially the almost the obsession with firepower that the Americans have. Really has is irrelevant, and also to those of us, such as yourself and myself here in Canada, who live in countries that actually have gun laws.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people think that there's no guns in the UK, but
Oh,
that's
they
not the
are.
case. It's
Yeah.
just heavily licensed, as you know.
As is in Canada too. I mean, we
Yeah,
have guns too, but it is heavily licensed. And there's certain things you just cannot own. Like, can I go out and buy an AR-15 with high capacity magazines or that sort of stuff,
yeah.
and a lot of hoop jumping to get a PAL. So there it is. So, anyways, what we're going to talk about is in the context of England, what happens if there's a nuclear war? What is the risk of it, given the current policies of the UK government? And how you think that would play out? Would it be the class? And given the situation in England, how close it is to everything, you're not going to get much warning of it. Do you think the government even bother warning you guys, or are you just going to first the warning is a flash in the sky? So
I,
go
I
for it.
think I, th I think as soon as we hear the phone notifications, which is the only warning system we have, there's no sirens left anymore
Hmm.
unless you live near a chemical plant. By the time we hear that, there'll be not even any time to get into any cover because they won't want to cause a panic. The bottom line is many countries have an underground system, have different things like that. And although the London has the London Underground, I don't think I'd want to be trapped under there. We don't have any civilian bunkers, and very few British people have basements even or cellars.
Hmm.
It's a very small minority, and brand new house builds that never come with a cellar, never come with a
Hmm.
basement. We just don't seem to dig,
Hmm.
which to most preppers, it's annoying, it's frustrating, but yeah. The direct threat, I think a lot of preppers in the UK are just like, we can't do anything. And they've kind of resigned to that thinking. I can't. It's not in my mentality. I will run and dig a hole and do anything I can to survive till the last
Hmm.
second. But there's very few safe areas because obviously the UK is so small. You're never far away from a power station, something for infrastructure, a military base. I
Hmm.
know where there's like three military bases in spitting distance from where I am now. A
Hmm.
major city is within, a stone throw away from me. I'm in this epicenter. So if it was a direct strike, the only preparing you could do is if you had a massive budget and you could
Hmm.
create something like a cellar.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I hear you. I mean, it is very, very target dense. I know if I was retired in England, I'd move to the Shetlands or something like that.
Actually, I've worked out that the west of side coast of Wales is probably one of the safest areas you
Yes,
could
and
be.
that would
So
also be the Isle of Man would be probably a good place too.
probably, yeah, probably. But
Yeah, but yeah, but I relate to that in a sense. But here are people, here are people have interesting opposite thing. They think, oh, we're Canada, nobody's going to nuke us. Hello, we're part of NATO.
that
Oh,
NATO safety umbrella, that there's the illusion. I don't know
yeah.
if
Well,
you
yeah, and
guys
even worse, we're also part of NORAD too.
this is it. But the NATO thing's interesting when you talk about
Hmm.
nuclear war. I don't know if you guys saw it over there, but we have a channel called Sky News over here, and
Yep.
they ran a simulation of what our cabinet meetings would be like under a nuclear attack from Russia. And it was
Hmm.
ran with ex-ministers and everyone that's actually had this job in the past, except for
Hmm.
Prime Minister. And they ran this simulation, and we had no leg to stand on. It was sudden realization we have no defense.
Hmm.
Britain has zero. anti-air missile system on the land at all.
Yep, much Canada too. We're all we have is fighter planes. That's all we have.
Yeah, we have one system and it's in the training school for the artillery down south, and I don't
Yeah,
even think it's in working order. It's for
yeah,
training.
yeah.
So the
Oh yeah.
illusion of safety.
Well, same thing too. I mean, and all these, government planning is just about saving their own necks. It's all about government continuity. To heck with us. We're toast, literally and figuratively in this case.
But there's no logic in that because what does a surviving government have left to govern over? They will come to the surface and it'll be a wasteland, and you've got no one to pay your taxes. And we all know the only thing that's a sure thing in life is death and taxes, right?
Oh yeah, well, definitely. And well, I think they assume there will be some people who survive, and Canada is better able to absorb. Although, like I said, our population is concentrated in big cities, but we've got a lot of open area. I mean, if you have enough warning, you can just literally head for the hills, and there are all these abandoned mines and
Yeah.
and caves and stuff like that. Even you don't even need that. If you get far enough north, you're not going to have to worry about fallout. You got the Rocky Mountains between you and there, and you're far enough out of the pass. As long as you map that out. However, if you're like where I am here, like in Vancouver, well, North Vancouver on the North Shore, yeah, I mean, it's like my basement is a raised basement, close enough that I get probably a 5 p. If they decide to explode one over the harbor to take out the harbor, which they would. It's the second largest port on the west coast of North America. They would
Mm.
all take out the airport, the international airport, and they'll also take out the airport in Abbotsford, where the air show runs out of. So there's three here, and of course. Just across being Squamish on Vancouver Island, there's the Canadian Pacific Naval Base. That'll be a first strike target. I mean, this place is going to be a mess. So I basically have identified, very deep, 3 levels underground parkades, to hunker
Hmm.
down in.
Yeah.
Although if I have enough warning, I got some good friends in New Zealand, so I'm off that neck of the woods. So there it is. But yeah,
I,
it's our government's not prepared for it. They don't care. I guess they'll figure there'll be some survivors that we can corral and throw some MREs at that they'll actually do some work for beans and stuff like that. But and neither does the States. States has nothing for its people either. I mean, there it is.
which is, I mean, it is kind of a bit madness because if you look across Eastern Europe and the closer you get to the front line, as it were, or the
Mm-hmm.
potential front line,
Mm-hmm.
they're all preparing more and more. Like you've got Germany recommissioning bunkers that were out of commission. You've got, places like Sweden where they've got them for pretty much every citizen.
Yeah, and
Um,
Finland and
yeah,
Switzerland.
because they've lived on the edge of this, they've kind of
Mm-hmm.
had that inkling this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think here in the UK, we've had our head buried in the sand. I think
Mm-hmm.
with the USA and Canada, potentially you're guilty of being, oh, well, we're all the way over here. So that's kind of give it a bit of, negligence for a lot of people. They just think, oh, we're okay. We're nowhere near it.
Yeah, however, the thing is, they forget that World War III is going to be a lot different than World War I and World War II, where it's all like over there.
Yep.
No, it's going to be landing on near in the city near you. And I know the Russians and the Ukrainians are in good shape that way too. I mean, a lot of those from that, like if you remember the fighting over Mariupol and the factory there was all sorts of tunnels under that thing that were there from
Hmm.
the Cold War, where the workers were supposed to hunker down when the nukes flew. And of course, the
Yeah.
Russians are building all these little free prefab bunker things they're putting all over the place too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
They seem to be preparing for it more than we do.
Yeah, and China too. I mean, China's got a fair bit. I was just on my wife and I on a 2 week tour of China, and you got any little signs of the running guy saying, it was with arrow pointing that way, pointing to the shelters and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It does seem like the BRICS nations, as it were, are a lot
yeah.
more prepared for this if it happens. I mean,
Mhm.
they might not. I don't think they've got the same firepower. I don't think they've got the same technology. Um, But I mean, China, arguably with China, that's a paper dragon. We don't know what they've got and what they've not got.
Well, they're
Um,
they're they're really catching up big time. I mean, they got like I mean, their nuclear subs kind of suck, but they've got good, decent ballistic submarines, and they're also
mhm.
smart enough to basically their silos put their silos in the middle of a desert, not in prime agricultural land like the Americans do.
But they also make a ton of money from the
Mm,
West right now.
yeah,
So why would
yeah.
you want to disturb that?
Exactly. Well, they're not going to do it. Theirs is defensive. They and just theirs is defensive. In case the collective the leadership of the collective West, which is probably at the same level of intellect as the leadership of Europe in 1914. I'm serious. I mean, this kind of,
I,
yeah. How do you go from an assassination to all-out, full-on world war in 3 weeks? Tell me that.
I've
Well, they managed
no
to do it.
idea. How do we vote in what we voted in?
Yeah.
I don't have a prime minister right now, and I could probably get somebody knocking on the door and arresting me just for saying that.
Well, yeah, same here too. I mean, with our thing, I mean, we're basically arrested all the trucker protest organizers or protesting COVID lockdown mechanisms. So, our former prime minister basically declared the War Measures Act and rounded up the bloody lot of them. I mean, but anyways, getting back to the topic, okay, given the sort of kind of grim situation like that, um, how do you think it was sort of like we could get in a situation where there is, at the very least, a nuclear war between, the quote coalition of the willing, with the British and French nuclear capabilities versus the Russian Federation, and how do you think, and yeah, and beyond? Of course, I can imagine eventually the Americans would be dragged into it.
I mean, it's whether you've got time to be dragged into it from anywhere else because
Yeah,
we don't have all the coalition's doing is helping us because we have our deterrent, we have our Trident system. The last three
yeah,
Trident test fires have failed
mm-mm,
and have failed catastrophically. You can see footage of it spinning out of control as it was
mm-hmm.
launched. Then we've only ever got one submarine that's actually seaworthy and one other one's in dry dock and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's great. It's a lovely idea to up it to 3, 4, 5% of GDP and make this big investment to the military. But we needed to do that 5 years ago because this stuff's
Mm-hmm.
not built overnight.
Oh heck
If
no.
if anything happens this year or next year, we've got one shot. That's it. All we've got is a deterrent. And if we launch that deterrent, we are defenseless. We cannot sustain a conventional war. And I think Russia would know that. So I don't think they would launch nukes at
Yeah.
the UK because
Mhm.
if they don't, then nobody else has a reason to, and they could just destroy us conventionally.
Well, true, but I would think that the UK might get desperate and try to get that one submarine to launch a missile or two, or and
They
certainly the French, much the same with the French nuclear submarine deterrents, they're probably in the same state.
it would
Then what?
depend. It would depend who is in charge at the time.
Yeah.
What we have right now is not what I would want as a wartime prime minister.
Hmm.
And that's not a party thing. Like the last, I've not don't remember a decent wartime prime minister since
Hmm.
Churchill, and we don't have one of them on the cards right now. So it
Hmm.
depends who's in charge. And no matter how much they destroy our infrastructure with conventional weapons, because they could
Hmm.
cripple us, it's easy enough to cripple us. We wouldn't even need
Yeah.
weapons. You could do it cyber. No matter how much they do that, somebody who the powers that be will still be thinking, well, if we launch a nuke, then they're going to nuke us back and we're gone. So
Hmm.
even when we're getting crippled, bombarded, and stuff like that, this is
Yeah.
what that War Games series that they did
Hmm.
really made you think
Hmm.
about. Who
Hmm.
would be brave enough to press a button? The first person that presses the button loses,
That's
right?
it. Yeah. Yeah. Although if you go expand it forward, I mean, I could see, uh, well, the leadership in the United States right now, President Trump, I could see him, yeah, out of his ego or being goaded into that.
The only way possibly anyone comes out of this winning, because we all know about mutually assured destruction,
Yeah,
and if the dead hand is real,
which I believe
um,
it is. Yeah.
I believe so as well. You can hear the signals and stuff like that when it's turned on and when it's not. But if that's the case, only a massive perfectly timed, targeted decapitation strike from
Hmm.
all of NATO at the
Hmm.
same time to take
Hmm.
out anything they have would work. And you would have
Yeah.
no warning. There would be no lead up. There would be no threats. There'd be no
Yeah.
saber rattling. It would
No.
just happen. You'd be like 2:30 on a Tuesday. You'd be just walking the dog, and all of a sudden, whoosh.
Yeah.
That's the only way it'd work.
Hmm. Yeah, trending. It'd be like that scene at the football stadium in the day after, where there was, where they're all looking out and there's all the Minutemen lounging.
Yeah, yeah. The people on them farms, they have the early warning system. If they're heading out, something's heading in.
Well, based on to kiss your butt goodbye. You
Yep, pretty much, pretty much.
you have anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of life left in that situation. Okay, but should worse, either out of stupidity, accidents, misstep, or whatever, it does get to that. What are your thoughts about what people can do if they're in the situation of what they are in England, or if anything?
I mean, when I talk about preparing for nuclear war, generally to try and keep it, I mean, if I say go and find a bunker and hide, I'll have a comment list a mile long going, oh, you're just going to die, blah, blah, and all this. I say prepare for the knock-on effects of it. If it happens in Ukraine, if it happens as close as Germany, France, stuff like that,
Hmm.
what's going to happen? It's going to be infrastructure, it's going to be power, it's going to be
Hmm.
blackouts, it's going to be food. 50% of what is on a UK plate is imported. We don't have enough
Hmm.
food grown and produced in this country to feed our nation. These are the things we prepare for. If it's a
Hmm.
nuclear strike, I would just recommend just getting out to a place that is relatively not a target. And there's very
Yeah.
few of them. And if you're going to do that realistically, you should be trying it now. Because
Right.
I've met so many people that are under this illusion of, oh, I'm just going to get my 75-kilo backpack and walk to the north of Scotland through the Highlands. And I'll be fine. I've been camping one weekend. I can survive in the high. Not a chance. There's going to be a row of dead campers on the way up there
Oh
because
yeah. Well,
it's a
that's
harsh wilderness, believe it or not. In the UK, we have a harsh wilderness, and that
Oh
is the
yeah,
Highlands.
I visited Scotland. I know how bleak it is up there, and just
Yeah,
how cold it can get too. I mean,
exactly. And
I
and
mean, I
it's
was
not
heck,
just
I
that.
was.
It's lifeless as well. It's
That is.
lifeless. It's not like people are going to hunt when it's winter up there. There's nothing out there. You've got to really know the plants and the streams and where to go and
Well,
stuff
yeah. I
like
was just saying. And of course, I don't have to tell you what like winter in Canada is like.
that. I know exactly what it's like. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna be kind of grim too. But yeah, I know that's the thing. Yeah, you have to pre-plan, you have to rehearse,
Yeah.
and you also have to be,
I don't. I'm not going to say it's all like doom and gloom. Like, because
no.
if there was a single strike, for example, because I mean, my always thought for training for this would be a dirty bomb, where it's not a
Hmm.
full launch both ways, so you're not
Yeah,
instantly going to be. But say a dirty bomb hits London, for example, or
yeah.
something like that, or even nearby, or something's incoming and we don't know where it's going to hit.
Hmm.
There's all the old stuff that you could do, like, sealing off your house. I have
Yeah,
NBC gear, I have
yeah.
gas masks, I have stuff like that.
Hmm.
Making a sheltered area in the center location of your house, nowhere near
Yeah.
any windows, blocking off any
Hmm.
glass. I have a plan in place for all that.
Hmm.
What good it will do, I don't know, but I will. I'm one of these that couldn't just sit there going, well, 30 minutes left, love. I would be working, nailing boards up and doing everything I can in that last 30 minutes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I know, rather than just curling up in a bottle of Highland Park and just knocking it
I
back.
mean,
Yeah.
that's probably plan B, but it's it, I genuinely think you can't prep in this country unless you've got a 10 million pound prepping budget, which
Hmm.
I definitely don't have. You can't
Hmm.
prep for a direct strike, not anywhere near where you are. It's
Yeah,
either
no, you have to be
bug
far
out.
enough away. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to be far away that there isn't a
yeah,
out of major blast area, and then you can
exactly.
look at. Okay, well, underground parkades. How do you have a lot of underground parkades in England or
Yeah,
not?
like so, yeah, but in cities mainly, like not really
Yeah,
anywhere else. So
yeah.
when you go out to like retail parks, which would be like,
Hmm.
if you're going out to a Mall of America kind of place,
Hmm.
away from a city centre, there was they're all overground car parks and sometimes levels up.
Yeah.
But in a city, obviously, there's a shortage of space, so there is
Yeah.
some that go down. Now, my
Hmm.
question to you would be, are we just burying ourselves alive by going down 3 stories in an epicenter?
Well, if in the epicenter, yes, you have to be far enough away. I mean,
Yeah,
if I, like for example, there's several there's a car park that's close to me, and is really really nice, but it's too close. The whole thing
yeah,
is just, yeah. But there's another one that's farther. If I can have enough of a warning, maybe a little bit, maybe I'd be lucky because we're not a primary target. Vancouver would be a second strike target. So if I started hearing something blew off over Esquimalt, I probably have maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get to the other one. The other one is
yeah.
far enough away that it's okay. Yeah, you have to be. And I use Nuke Map to figure out the where the yeah, and basically where I would set off a nuke. I set off a nuke right over the harbor, could take out the harbor facilities, take
Yeah.
out the airports. I mean, that's what I would do if I was the Russians.
So that's up for a bit of debate as well. I mean, people release these target lists all the time, and what I always
Mhm.
see on them is major cities, um, population centers, as it were.
Yeah.
I don't think he could do that because he
Mhm.
has to keep the people on his side. He has
Mhm.
to have the propaganda that the British are these evil war machine that are going
Yeah,
against them.
right. Hmm.
If he's targeting civilians, then I don't think that's not the
Hmm.
case. So a lot of them target maps that people put up that have
Yeah.
cities are very inaccurate. You need to be looking at
Mhm.
military sites and infrastructure sites because that's
Well, yeah. I took, like I said,
because
ports and infrastructure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If is it
And of
is
course,
it
it's in the middle of the city.
yeah.
Because if you look at the map of Vancouver, you have the North Vancouver, West Vancouver, and then you have the harbor here, and then the rest of Vancouver here. You set something called because it is the second largest port on the West Coast. It could be used for
Military use
resupplying
it?
troops. And yeah,
Do the
yeah.
military use it?
Well, I know they've actually had the shipyards have actually maintained military vessels here.
Right, okay.
And of course, Abbotsford Airport is where the air show goes, and they use military craft there. But even the worst case scenario, even the best case scenario, they will take out the Esquimalt, CFB Esquimalt, because that's where our Pacific Fleet is. They want to take out all those frigates in order, and the ability to support those frigates in order to make clear the way for their submarines.
Hmm.
That's a primary target. It's gone. And so,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to get fallout. So that's okay. I hope that is the best case because then just we have to deal with fallout, go to the bottom of the parkade for a couple of weeks, come back out. This place is still intact. Everything else is here. So we're great. I mean, well, as best you can be in this situation.
Better than it could have been, yeah.
Yeah. Now I think that I really feel sorry for the people in Winnipeg because that's where the NORAD Northern Command is, right by the air base, which is right by the airport. Which is, I mean, and they're going to hit that thing with both a ground burst and an air burst. I mean, I would not want to be living in Winnipeg. And the trouble is, most of the people there don't even get it, don't even realize that this is a primary target.
But I mean, that's the same thing over here as well. It's prepping such a minority, and
Oh.
it's not just prepping that's a minority. The awareness of what's
Hmm.
going on,
Hmm.
people see it. I mean, it's even got to the point now where our mainstream media, the ones that are totally not controlled by our government at all and are independent,
Yeah.
are now doing reruns. Suddenly brought back Threads.
Yeah.
And after Threads, they reran like a documentary infomercial style thing that was done in 1969 that was
Hmm.
banned. So they've
Hmm.
unbanned it to run that. So are they
Hmm.
giving us subliminal messaging there? And now, obviously, it's the anniversary of Hiroshima. We're seeing loads of news reports on that and almost trying to push the message across saying this is what could happen. This is how bad it could be. This is what people have to
Hmm.
do without saying it because our government doesn't want to tell people to prepare.
Yeah.
But the
Well, here
UK
they're not even doing
citizens,
that. We're not even doing that.
yeah, our citizens will watch it And then excellent. Oh my God, yeah, oh, that's really scary. Same as they did through the jab times. Um,
Hmm.
that they'll think, oh, it's really scary. Oh, it's terrible. 2 minutes later, it's like squirrel, a distraction, something else.
Hmm.
Oh, the football's on. Never mind about that.
The Epstein files out here, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you've got reams of stuff now that can be released, all the
Yeah.
alien stuff and stuff like that. It's like distraction, 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 and
Hmm.
people forget.
Yeah, and it's the same thing here. That's the difference. Like you go to a Costco in the United States, you'll see, basically boxes of freeze-dried food and these other things that like from Ready, Where, and Wise and stuff like that. You can
Yeah.
buy prep supplies right off at the Costco. Here, there's nothing here
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Costco's.
I've got Ready Wise. I've got a box of Ready Wise next to me. They sent it me to try, but it's just so expensive to get imported here that people just canned food is the way forward here.
Well, yeah, well, it's much the same here. It's interesting
Yeah,
enough because they make it all in the States, so it's cheap in the States. I mean, cheaper, but here it's not cheap. It's expensive at all. I mean, again, you
yeah,
will go canned foods, basically rice and beans. I get these just in the supermarket for like $10 Canadian, 2 kilo thing of cargo rice that's vacuum sealed. I mean, there it is. It's,
nice, nice.
yeah, and again, stuff like that. And also. Those emergency food bars are for still reasonable price for the amount of calories it can get.
Yeah,
Last
I've actually
forever.
tasted them. They're not too bad either.
I know, I do
At a
actually.
pinch.
I've actually had I like the fruit flavored ones. Not too bad at all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
No, it's
it's
good.
I don't think get boring after a while, but it's better than eating earthworms.
It's better than not eating.
Yeah, that too.
I mean,
Okay.
I suppose the scary thing with the whole scenario is not it happening. Preparing for it to happen, we could all try, right?
Hmm.
What we've got to prepare for, the hardest thing to prepare for is afterwards, right? You said 2 weeks down in that car
Yeah.
park, it's coming back up. It's
Yeah,
what
I
you're going to
know. I'm
find.
fully
It's what
aware of that.
state the
The
people are
long
going to
term
be in.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and how are other people? Because everyone that knows about that car park is not going to be have a bag full of stuff and be ready. They're going to want your stuff, right?
Hmm. Well,
So
fortunately, the bonus part of this is the car park is below a large supermarket. I just point everybody upstairs.
yeah, go get your own.
I mean, there's this very large supermarket there, and
Yeah.
beside it is the liquor store. So I mean, hey, go out there, get all the food and booze you want, and bring it back down. That's what we're telling everyone. Go okay, especially after the thing goes off. Okay, we got like maybe 15 minutes before the fallout starts. Go up there and just clean out and bring it down.
There you go.
So
All
that's the
planned out.
bonus part. That's the bonus part is that you get, and there's also the Mexican restaurant, also part of that complex, which you can basically, okay, I'm sure there are a lot of cans of rice and beans out there, so there it is.
There you go. There you go. I don't think we've got anything like that here. Not with the.
Well, so
It's
it's
not with the
nice
underground
that
car
way.
park.
It's nice that way. You basically stuff to loot afterwards. But yeah, the aftermath is going to be the hard part. You're going to have to basically know how to. I mean, I actually did a video on scrounging, um, and certainly if they didn't nuke Vancouver Harbor, I mean, this is where this is the harbor is going to be. There's thousands of containers you can rummage through. There's grain elevators. I mean,
Yeah.
this is going to be it's I mean, good about as good place as any for scrounging. Anyways, this place, but still, you have to know. You have to be able to have. I was fortunate enough. I was born and raised in Northern Ontario, so I learned how to fish and trap and all the other stuff like that. I'm sure those skills will come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like riding a bike.
A little rusty at first, but yeah, and I that's part of my preps is I mean I got snares, I got fishing gear, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if worst case scenario is I'm not averse to eating, should try to fight the crows off to get the chafer beetle grubs.
It's all protein,
And
right?
and
It's
then
all
roast raccoon. There's plenty of raccoon around here.
it's all people joke saying I don't want to end up eating squirrels. It's some good eating on squirrels, it's all
Oh
right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and my slingshot, or what you guys call a catapult, I'm pretty half
Yeah.
decent with a slingshot, so there it is.
Yeah, because I mean, you've very similar situation to us, like you said with the firearms. So, are you? Can you have bows and
Oh
crossbows
yeah,
and all
crossbow,
that
and
fine? Yeah,
I do have a Barrett crossbow. I got the really good big game heads, the ones that have the blades that flip out and that sort of
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
with the
That's
bone
cool.
breakers. Yeah, so I've got a really nice Barrett crossbow.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so they've not banned them yet. We're going to get there. Soon we'll
Yeah.
just have sticks and stones in the UK, but
Mm.
we're not allowed
No, I
opinions
was a
behind
joke around that.
weapons.
I was that person would be down to whipping somebody with a Twizzler.
Yeah, they've banned words. They've banned us speaking, so never mind weapons
Well,
and
they've
stuff.
done the same thing here too. I mean, everything on, you better watch. Oh, that's hate speech. Oh, that's anti-Zion. That's anti-Semitic. When you talk about the genocide, they're going, oh, that's anti-Semitic.
No, no, no.
No.
There's a whole other episode about debating history. If you don't acknowledge history, it'll happen again.
Yeah, it will, and it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh, so, anything else you want to add? And
No, I mean, it's if I've give everything you need from the UK perspective, then yeah, that's excellent.
sounds pretty good. Yeah.